哪个？
我是刘新礼啊。
你是我弟弟啊！你们来不来接我啊？我现在超不来劲，我心慌慌了。
63-year-old Lu Renbin, 30 years ago abandoned his wife and child and went far away. During this period he never came back, never cared about his wife and son. Now in old age and suffering from illness, homeless on the street, he just wants to return home and let his son support him in old age. If you don't come back, then don't come back. But once you come back you just want your son to provide for you. How can there be such a father in the world? Lu Renbin said, he is from Hunan, and has been living in Guangdong for more than 20 years. In these 20 years he never returned home, and also lost contact with his family. Now with age, his health is failing. After falling ill even walking became a problem, so he thought of going back to his hometown and letting his son support him. But in these days in Changsha, he spent too much money on living and eating. The remaining 700 yuan on him was also stolen by others. Now he has only 100 yuan left on him. Helpless, he can only wander on the streets, picking up leftovers to eat. But since Lu Renbin has already returned to Hunan, why not go directly back to his hometown Hengyang?
在家里我只有个儿子，叫刘青青。我老婆多年不在了，
过世了。
我就不知道过世不过世，我就反正就是讲不在人间了。
Lu Renbin said, their family had 5 siblings, he ranked the eldest, and he had 1 son. All these years it was his siblings who were taking care. But when asked about his wife, and why he had not returned home for more than 20 years, Lu Renbin was evasive and avoided answering. Could it be that his not returning home for many years is related to his wife? Then, the relevant staff, according to the information provided by Lu Renbin, contacted the village secretary of Lu Renbin's hometown.
那老婆吵架，房子就出去了。
他老婆还在家不咯？
老婆具体什么情况？老婆应该还在吧？
还在啊，他说他的老婆过世了。
没有啊。
On the phone, the village secretary said that more than 20 years ago, indeed there was a villager named Lu Renbin, who at that time, because of quarreling with his wife, abandoned his young son in anger and left home, never to return. It has now been nearly 30 years, during which he never contacted his family. And Lu Renbin's wife is still alive, and has been living in Hengyang. So what exactly is going on? In order to understand the truth, the reporter, according to the information provided by the village secretary, contacted Lu Renbin's younger brother Lu Renyi. According to Lu Renyi, his elder brother divorced his sister-in-law early on, then chose to leave home, and after that never contacted the family again. They had also tried many times to look for him, but there was no clue. Now facing the suddenly appearing elder brother, he wanted to confirm through a phone call.
我说你叫什么名字呢？
我叫刘延斌，我是老大，你是哪个？
我是刘新礼啊。
你是我弟弟啊！你们来不来接我啊？我现在超不来劲，我心慌慌了。
哎呀，这你不要就知道好现实，妈叫话我心也不对啊。
On the phone, Lu Renyi tried to use the hometown dialect to confirm the identity of his elder brother, but Lu Renbin had already been away from home for more than 20 years, and had long forgotten the local dialect, so Lu Renyi suspected that this Lu Renbin was not his elder brother. Facing his younger brother's doubts, Lu Renbin was anxious, but if others don't believe, what can he do? Could Lu Renbin really be Lu Renyi's elder brother?
你是我弟弟啊！你们来不来接我啊？我现在超不来劲，我心慌慌了。
A man in his 60s, away from home for 30 years, now ill and physically inconvenient, just wants to come back and let his son support him, but unfortunately wanders homeless on the streets of Changsha. Later, after an investigation, finally contacted his younger brother. In order to let his younger brother better identify whether this person was really his elder brother, the reporter recorded a video for him. Looking at the video, Lu Renyi felt it was a bit like his elder brother, but not entirely like, after all, nearly 30 years without meeting. Lu Renbin's appearance did not match, but the family information he said was correct, so for a time Lu Renyi could not confirm whether this Lu Renbin was really his elder brother who had been away for many years.
18年没结过现在。
要出去这么多年了，为什么不回来呢？
他原先是和老婆不吵架不和，老婆哎呀么了，他老婆还出去炒些又离婚，把家具全部和他娘家现在就把家具全部带回去了。
Lou Rennie said, back then his elder brother and sister-in-law always quarreled over small things, and the sister-in-law would go back to her natal family in anger. His elder brother always wanted to save the marriage, but the sister-in-law never wanted to return to him. After learning that the sister-in-law filed for divorce, his elder brother in anger left his young son and ran away from home, and never came back again, not even when their parents passed away.
走的父母还在世吗？
全部在，
都还在世。
那走的时候父母全部在，那我母亲还不是每年都天天哭，就是哭。
天天哭想这个奶
奶天天哭，那就是每年他到的特别是清明节什么的好，他就是哭，
就想儿子
他之后叫我老妈就到处也是要到处去跑就点了。
Lou Rennie said, since his elder brother left home, the mother wept every day, in the end fell ill from longing, mentally deranged, and left the world with regret. Now finally there was news of the elder brother. Even though his identity could not yet be confirmed, he still notified his nephew in Guizhou, hoping he could return home to confirm. After Lu Qingqing learned the news, the next day he rushed home. The man in the white t-shirt in front of him was Lu Rinbin's son Lu Qingqing. But after watching the video, he also could not confirm whether this person was his father, who had been missing for nearly 30 years.
30年前这个总共村里面的人到处也去找过好几年，然后我们家人也去找过，找的时候没找到。然后他以前在那里工作的地方，那里就是以前在那个煤矿里面工作嘛，但是后来那个矿垮了，压死了不少人，但是每个人都以为他死了不在了。
那你这么多人都没想过你父亲还在世吗？
以前我的就是在想，不管是生要找到死，活要找到人。
For Lu Qingqing, his father was never part of his life. After all, when his father left, he was still just a child who understood nothing, so he had no impression of his father. At one time, he even thought his father had already passed away. After his father left, his mother soon remarried, and had other children, so he could only rely on his grandparents. Now facing the sudden appearance of his father, Lu Qingqing felt shocked, and also doubted whether this man really was his father.
你说
我和你老爸一样，
怎样才能确认你身份？
你现在在哪里啊？
我现在在家里啊，你知道家在哪里吗？
我现在在派出所，在公安派出所。
我知道你，对，我知道你在公安派出所。我想请问一下，你现在知道家在哪里？我要确认你的身份。
It seems that in these 30 years of his father's absence, Lu Qingqing experienced a lot, making him no longer trust anyone. According to Lu Qingqing, when he was 16 years old, he went alone to Guangdong to look for his father. Some people used the news of his father to trick him into the mountains. His aunt was also cheated of all her money because of this. Such experiences made Lu Qingqing very guarded against strangers. So, could Lu Renbin really be Lu Qingqing's father?
还不来接我啊！我现在超不来劲，我心慌慌了。
对不起，我也很在乎的。我在哪里？我就不好讨个房子长了，我付过很多，但是呢，没钱，好意思为吗
？30 years ago, because the father left home, the family lost its economic source. The young Lu Qingqing could not go to school. Looking back now, he was still full of grievances.
看到人家可以上学，我现在家里就是一天的摸鱼，好想上一个学，没办法上。
你小时候是，一直跟你爸爸走了之后，是一直跟爷爷奶奶过日子。
对啊，从我奶奶死的时候，我啥也没学到过。
奶奶死了就不好。为什么你觉得家里面没人？
没地方待了吗？
All these years, only Lu Qingqing knew how he survived. Talking about his painful childhood experiences, he could not help shedding tears. Since his parents heartlessly left, because of poverty, his grandparents could not afford to send him to school. Catching loaches and picking mushrooms filled his childhood. Every time he saw other children loved by parents, he could only hide in a corner, crying silently, praying his father could return. but every time the result was the same. His father never appeared. Later his grandparents passed away one after another, and he completely lost hope. He was like a child with life, but no one to raise him. So if the Lu Ren Bin in the video really was his father who had been missing for 30 years, would he be willing to accept him?
说真的话，当时从来没有后过这个样子。当时就是小时候的心理就是这样，能够盼着自己的父母回来，这是每个小孩的心里都有的。就像现在的大人一样的，就是说留守为嘛，就是留守为嘛，不是一样的，也是这个心情嘛。
不希望父母回来。
对。所以说我也是，你说别人每年回来过年的时候会高高兴兴回来有个家过年，像我们回来连个家都没有，就一个人带着我老婆在外面，说实话也是在外面连了这么多年，一点情节都没有。
Lu Qingqing admitted, although his father never raised him, but as a son, filial piety comes first, he was willing to take on the responsibility of supporting his father. Then, accompanied by the village secretary, Lu Qingqing decided to go to Chongsha to meet Lu Ren Bin. After 30 years apart, Lu Ren Bin recognized his son at first sight. Facing the son he abandoned for 30 years, at this moment Lu Ren Bin had too much to say, but didn't know where to start. This meeting also let Lu Ren confirm that this man was his elder brother Lu Ren Bin. Perhaps happiness came too suddenly, Lu Ren couldn't help but cry against the wall.
我说长人我要喜欢动画片，我完了。我有个妈妈做事，妈妈把原来跟你好的看，压抑的赞，那把娃子点好的我真的。
这是因为长人。
Listening to his younger brother's words, Lu Ren Bin fell into deep guilt. Perhaps he never thought his leaving brought so much harm to his family. But time cannot turn back, he could only keep apologizing to his younger brother. Then facing the father who abandoned him for 30 years, would Lu Qingqing support him in old age?
叫他前面事我们都不提了，晓得不？你现在跟我回去好好的安小晚年，其他的事我们都不谈了，晓得不？其他事情我们一律不提，真的不再提了。过去的事也它过去了，晓得吧？你好好的跟我回去安小晚年。
我说我这样的脚疼，这个样子，我肯定快会死了。我说我有死都要死家里去。
这个不是问题，这个脚疼跟我回去，我带你到家里，跟我回去的时候，我帮你医治，好吧？
Although father and son had been apart for nearly 30 years, they were a bit unfamiliar, but Lu Ren Bin was not despised by his son. Hearing his son's words, he felt very comforted. Finally father and son embraced, and for this father who abandoned him for 30 years, Lu Qingqing chose to forgive, and promised to care for his father in old age. After that, Lu Ren Bin returned to the home where he once lived. Looking at the dilapidated house, he fell into deep guilt. If not for leaving home in anger back then, his son would not have ended up without a home. As for why he left, Lu Ren Bin said it was because of his own incompetence and resentment toward his wife. Then, led by his family, Lu Ren Bin went to the graves of his parents. He never thought the parting 30 years ago became a final farewell with his parents. Whether as a son or as a father, he was a failure. His leaving brought endless worry and pain to his family. Luckily, his son was still willing to forgive him.
钱，我看早就吃了没钱了，真的是。你回来还是借的钱？这谁借的？
朋友、同事做的凑的嘛。
凑的钱回来的。这以后父亲对你来说还是一个重的负担。
再重的负担也没办法，毕竟是自己的父亲，我不可能让他，我一开始我就说了，我不可能让他在外面流浪了吧。我就说了，我要流浪就是两父子一起都在外面流浪。反正就是说我尽我最大的能力去做自己的责任。
Even if penniless, he would not let his father wander again outside. This was Lu Qingqing's attitude. Although Lu Ren Bin had a failed life, fortunately he had a filial son. Here, we hope that all kind people in the world will be rewarded with goodness.
30 years ago, Lu Ren Bin, in a moment of impulse, abandoned his wife and child, causing his mother to fall ill from longing, and his son to grow up in hardship. It can be said he was neither a competent son nor a qualified father. But even so, his son Lu Qing still chose to forgive and was willing to be filial. Is this the power of fatherly blood ties, or the influence of Chinese tradition, filial piety above all? Some say such a father does not deserve forgiveness, nor should the son bear the responsibility of elderly care. But some say the bonds of family, no matter how cut off, are still connected by blood. What do you think? If it were you, would you forgive this father who abandoned you for 30 years? Welcome to leave your thoughts in the comments. I look forward to hearing your voice. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. See you next time.